Alright guys, hi everyone and welcome to the video. In this video, we are going to learn how to get the list of all connected devices on a network using Python. So this video is Python for ethical hacking. So let's get started. So our task is to find all the devices that are connected to the network, their IP address, their MAC, the vendor. So it's going to be a long video. So this video is just going to teach you how to get the IP address. So first of all, we need to say import nmap. Remember, I'm not doing the object-oriented code. Otherwise, it will be a little tough for you two guys to catch up for the beginners, of course. So if you don't have Nmap, you can do is go to project structures, packages. If you're using IntelliJ PyCharm, then the plus icon here, and you can just say Nmap and install that. What did I say? Nmap, not nsmap. All right, just install that. I've already done that. If not, you can say pip3 install nmap. So once you're done with that, so we need to define a function, or should I teach you the object-oriented class? You know what, let's do the object-oriented. It'll be fun and you will at least have an idea of object-oriented coding. So let's define a class known as network, which inherits from object. So define underscore underscore init underscore underscore self. Of course, we need to pass the default gateway of the router or the IP address. So I'm going to say IP and it's going to be a blank. All right. Say self, defining the constructor so that I can initialize my objects later on. Self.ip. IP. Remember, that's done. Define network scanner self. So what do we need to do, guys? Here, the first thing that we need to do before this, so we have to provide the IP address, right? Yep. So network scanner. What we need to do is, first of all, we need to define the length. We need to see if this whatever IP address the user has entered, does it have a definite length? If no, then we need to tell the user, hey, please enter the IP address, right? Or else we can define this in a different way. Let's do this way. Let's say IP equals to input, please enter default IP address of routers. So that. All right, so we have a message, and whenever the user enters that value, it will be in a self.ip. Now we need to do is we need to check if the user has entered any IP. Otherwise, we can say, hey, you did not enter anything. So simple function, we do length self.ip is equal to 0. If the length is 0, guys, you know that that means the user haven't entered any IP address. Or we can say, please enter the default IP address of the router. Or we can say the default, please enter the IP or the default DEF. What the fuck? DEAF. Whatever. Please enter the IP. Default is 192.1/, because this is what the usually the default IP address is, right? So so if user does not enter any IP address, we're going to take by default as 192.168.1.1. so we are going to say, yep, we are going to say network, and I'm going to say 192.168.1.1. and since we are doing an nmap, so we need to discuss all the IP address. So we're just going to say if user did not enter anything, that means if he entered, he just press enter, that means by default this is what the gateway would be. This is what the gateway would be taken. If not, if user enters something, so of course the network would be that whatever IP user entered. So self.ip, and we want to append 24 with that, since we're doing an nmap. So that's done. That's the first start. And let's give a message to the user, scanning, please wait. All right, so that's done. So once that is done, now we can prepare our nmap object. So nmap nmap, I can say dot port scanner, create an object of nmap. All right, so once that is done, I can say nm dot scan, right? Then I can say host is equal to the IP address, the range of IP that we just supplied here. So network, that's going to be network. Then arguments is going to be a simple SN because we are just doing on we want to discover the host, so we're going to say SN. That's it. And after that, we need to define our host list. That is all the IP address that the nmap is going to discover. We need to get that in a list. So I'm going to define a list, and this is what it's going to be. So let me just quickly paste it to save time. All right, so here you can see, so we have a list where this is going to iterate over all the host, and whatever it finds is going to append in the host list. Now remember the host list is a tuple of the IP address, so I'm going to say for host comma status in. Just want to make sure the recording is on. Yep. So for host whatever, so for host list, just trying to print I can say host, my bad. Let's try to run this. So remember, first we need to create an object, underscore underscore main, so create an object network, then d dot, so that's network scanner, and that's it. So let's try to run it and see if we get all the IP address. So it says enter the default IP address of the gateway is this or this. So I'm gonna say 192.168.1.-0.1. Of course, please wait, scanning. So it's gonna take time for about a minute because it's performing an nmap in the background. So be patient, of course, please. So let it do its job. And here you see we have all the IP address. In the next video, I'm going to be teaching you how to get the MAC address from these IP. So thank you for watching the video. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, please let them please tell me by doing that in the comment section below. So type your suggestion, questions, whatever you have in the comment section below, and I shall get back to you as soon as possible. And make sure to watch my Bose hacking tutorial on YouTube. So I have also taught you guys how to hack Bose speakers using Python. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and see you guys in the next video.